Hello in England, and I've had a delivery of Julian Trevelyan prints from a supplier in England, and we bought 23 prints off this supplier, and there were 23 of two different scenes, different pictures, so they're duplicates. So I have to check these are in good condition, because 13 of the prints have come to England, stayed in England, to come to me in England, and the other 12 are going to Malta directly from the supplier. So before I paid for the other 12, before I pay for the 12, I want to check the first 13 are okay, because I haven't seen them before. That one is number 72 of 75, it's Richmond Park. There are some marks on the margin, but I wouldn't class them as dirt, I would class them as deterioration through age. They will come off with a pin, not with water. So if I want to get off these marks here, I will take a pin, a needle, I will scratch the surface, and I will then use a razor, clean one, and I will then rub the surface, and the marks will go. So that's fine. I'm happy with that. I would have liked it not to have had any defects, but they're not serious problems. I want to check they're all okay. This is number 2. That one is mint. So the one on the edge of the pile has the deterioration. Number 3. Number 70, that's number 74, that's mint. Being handmade, they do often have inconsistencies and anomalies, and I don't mind that myself. Some collectors get very fussy if they have any issues, but there's nothing there I can't take off with a needle. If you use water, it will disturb how the paper is laying, the fibres, and it won't work. You'll get a drying ring, so you have to use a pin. Number 22. Each one is numbered in pencil, titled in pencil, and hand signed, not initialed, it's hand signed with the whole name, which is a very nice feature by Julian Trevelyan. The prints have had the margin cropped very slightly, because there perhaps would have been an uneven edge, but never mind. 51. That's fine. The pictures, these prints are for sale in Malta, €1,200 each on frame in England, because there's no duty, because I haven't sent them, they haven't left England and incurred any duty. These will be £900 each. This is 75 of 75, that's the last one. I think that's a nice one. I might keep that one for another time. Then we go to the next scene, which is also landscape shaped. This one is titled Kew Gardens, which is a sort of, but I suppose, a cross between a botanical garden and an arboretum, and it has some garden features. For example, it has a pagoda, it has a crystal palace effect, conservatory, a glass house, it has a lake, it has a fountain. I think that's really lovely. This is a very bright print. This is 30 of 75, Kew Gardens, Julian Trevelyan. Condition's really good. It has more whiteness than the Richmond Park ones. There is another Richmond scene he did, where the image is a portrait shaped layout, which is very similar. The other one I think is Richmond Gardens, and it has the Thames in it. We sold one last week in Malta. Again, good condition on this other one, this other duplicate. I really like these Kew Garden ones. I think they're beautiful. There's no confusion in it. You know what it is. It's obviously Kew Gardens. If you're from London, you'll know it's Kew Gardens. It's not ambiguous. Even though it contains a Chinese building, it's London for sure. condition good on that one as well. This one has a drop on the front centre, unlike the other ones, and unlike this one here, for example, which has a black sort of spill. This is a good example of the whole point of these prints being artisan. That spill is due to the fact the print had to be moved by hand and offered to the printing devices. I can take it off with a pin, I can cover it with a gouache. I will probably leave it, it's part of the story. Does it matter? No, it doesn't really. It shows it's the real thing. If it was a giclée print, an inkjet print from an art shop or a museum or the guide shop in an exhibition, they wouldn't have it on it. But because it is artisan, it does have it. The other feature of these artisan prints is they have this impression line here where it shows a raised area where the actual plate has put the colour on, the colour having been applied in different stages. The ink when they put the ink on, it has to be hot, otherwise the printing devices don't work. That has a small blemish which I can take off with a pin. You don't have to totally remove it, because if you remove enough of it so the eye doesn't see it, because it will be behind glass, then it's enough. Lovely, wonderful thing. So there's the original painting, which would be worth £30,000, £40,000. There is the 75 limited edition prints, numbered limited edition prints, and beyond the limited edition prints there will be artist proofs, which the printer would have used to make sure it was correct, and there will have been the printer's proofs. And my feeling is there are many more artist proofs and printer's proofs than there ought to be. Certainly with a run like this there'll be a dozen, but there's no reason why there aren't 20 or 30 or more. Okay, so these are the prints from my supplier in England, which have been delivered to me in England. The ones going to Malta it'll be another load of virtually the same. We'll have them all framed in Malta when we get the chance, and we'll use different techniques of framing, so we have a variety of different looks. And if I don't sell them all in one go, I don't care. These will be worth more in 5 years, these will be worth more in 3 years. And I quite like having them around. In fact, one of them might look good in this room. Thanks for looking.